As you stay tuned in the news, you're going to see more prosecutions that we're currently investigating and dealing with, and there have already been several. In addition to that, Civil Rights Division has also obtained a guilty plea together with our colleagues in Los Angeles of a woman who was illegally registering untold number of homeless people using a false address. So taken together, these are serious issues. We want all Americans to feel confident when they go to the polling place or they cast their ballot in whatever way they choose to cast it legally, that their vote is being counted only once and only with other American citizens, and that their vote isn't being canceled out by some random stranger, whether they be a green card holder or an illegal alien here in the United States. And this is happening. In fact, you're going to find out a lot more of it's happening than what people are willing to say so far.
All we can say here at The Absolute Truth is we certainly hope so. We hope this is all happening behind the scenes. Harmeet Dillon is certainly making strong statements and sending strongly worded letters like this one to Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, warning her that anyone, the keyword being anyone, can be prosecuted for thwarting election law, including Jocelyn Benson herself. Well, to that I have to say, what are we waiting for? According to a new letter from Barry County, Michigan Sheriff Dar Leaf, Benson has already committed crimes and should be formally indicted. In fact, he sent this criminal referral to the Macomb County prosecutor this week. With that, let's bring in Patrick Byrne to discuss this and so much more. Patrick Byrne, it's good to see you. Did you hear those wonderful words about you from Mr. Peter Tickton?
It's good to be seen, and yes, Emerald, I did. How kind of Peter! How kind of Peter! I didn't know he had noticed. Yes, that was a little adventuresome time in all of our lives. But those last few weeks before the election of 2024, I did have a backup plan. I want you to know it all happened legally. And it was actually, I'm not supposed to say this, but I don't care. It was the U.S. Department of Defense Cyber Command who actually did it, who took out the Belgrade Serbian office. I had a backup plan. I had to deal with the Albanian mafia that were ready to firebomb the place for $1 million for me.
You probably should not say that on TV.
Well, I don't think they can arrest you for just planning it. But 5 days before the election day, I got word that no, DOD is going to take care of it. It was and it was all done in a way that the Biden administration didn't even know. So didn't even know what was going on. And it was the U.S. Cyber Command that smoked the place. But it was all based on the work of myself, Martin Rodil, and Gary Bernstein. I mean, we had gotten everything that we've been chasing for there. But I had that backup plan.
Well,
remember, I've got this crazy letter that...
Fortunately, it didn't get to that. I know you talking about that crazy letter from Obama, so the Obama administration, but we're just glad it didn't get to that point. Let's talk about the point we're at now, Patrick, and this criminal referral from Dar Leaf. Now, this is to a county prosecutor in Michigan, but with what the letter paired with the letter that Harmeet Dillon sent and the video she put out, why aren't we seeing Jocelyn Benson indicted yet?
Well, it is a really big deal. You know, American citizens have a right to a trial by a jury that's composed of U.S. citizens. It's considered it's actually federal law, 28 U.S.C. 1865, and the states have their own versions. You only can have citizens on your juries. Every defense attorney in America who has had a client convicted ought to be going into looking at the jury pool. If there were any illegal aliens in those jury pools, or even people with green cards, that's a clear mistrial. They get a new trial for that. So these goons like Benson in Michigan are allowing, through super lax DMV stuff, allowing people to get on the voter rolls, and then the jurors are selected from the voter rolls. That means that there's all kinds of illegal aliens taking part in our juries, which means every trial that has happened with an illegal alien, one illegal alien on that jury, that civil or criminal, that trial can be, they should revisit it and get their clients a new trial. It's a really big deal. And it's, of course, illegal for Benson and other secretaries of state to be promoting this, which they are effectively doing by saying, anytime you come and get a driver's license, we'll just put you on the voter roll. They're effectively facilitating this. So they're committing crimes, to add to a long stack of high stack of other crimes they've been committing.
That's a major that's major criminal activity. It's no small, like, we can overlook it. It's a big deal, and this is federal level. So when Harmeet Dillon says that there's investigations going on behind the scenes and there are soon to be indictments, of course, I have some PTSD from the first term when Sean Hannity had people on every night saying indictments are coming for, a year plus, and they never showed up. Some of those same people are out there saying this again. So that makes me skeptical, but I hope it's true. And I feel a little bit better because your friend, who you just mentioned, Martine Rodil, who you refer to as the quarterback of what I refer to the Three Musketeers, you, Gary, and Martine, he said this on the show last week. Let's take a listen.
And eventually I trust into that team that is doing that investigation. And I do believe more information will be exposed to the American public in the coming weeks or coming month, when indictments hopefully start coming out of that criminal investigation. Now, where we stand on the work to protect the United States election system. As you know, I'm a private citizen. I've just been cooperating with the U.S. government on different criminal investigations through my career and the last 20 years of work. And one of them has been the election integrity. There is a dedicated team doing work. There are challenges, definitely. There are people that are trying to disrupt the work to be done. And in my opinion, those are powerful people, influential people that have capacity to make more difficult. But I do believe on the determination that President Trump has and to get to the bottom of this.
However, after we had that conversation last week, there was some disappointing news. I don't know what to make of it yet because I don't know much more than what the Department of Justice announced regarding Mr. Stephen Muldrow. Our audience knows him. Most people don't know this name in the country because he was a U.S. attorney originally out of Puerto Rico who had been investigating money laundering, trafficking, and that he found an intersection with the election crimes out of Venezuela, right? Some of the Venezuelans that intersected then with the American voting machine companies. He has resigned from this team. So what do you make of what Martine had to say and paired up with this news, Patrick?
Well, I think this is really quite discouraging. Stephen Muldrow is a lifelong career DOJ guy. When Biden came to power, illegitimately, he actually had all of Trump's U.S. attorneys resign. I think there are 93. He gave a pass to this one guy down in Puerto Rico because he wasn't really a Republican. He was a career DOJ guy, respected across the DOJ. The U.S. attorneys are like the cardinals of the church. They're very important positions. And he gave a pass to this guy, all doing our work. Martine and Gary's running around the world. We actually were on this guy's kind of under he sprinkled some holy water on us. So we were in a sense untouchable, at least Martine was. And we were in some trouble in some different places. I mean, Martine, the Venezuelans got Spain to put Martine on I was with him in Brazil, I think, when this happened. They put him on a list he was on some Interpol warrant. They were going to arrest him, take him to Spain, ship him back to Venezuela. He would have been skinned alive. Muldrow saved him. Muldrow, we had a way into the U.S. government. There were other people. There were people in the DHS, even though I was literally DHS domestic extremist number one through this period. We literally had some protection in the DHS as well. But we had Muldrow, and Muldrow was terrific. And we brought all kinds of counterintelligence and and cartel information to Muldrow. He was wonderful. It's very discouraging that he's done that. I have a guess as to what this might be about, and it might be kind of a protest resignation, but I don't want to speak for him. But I I think it's discouraging that he's left, and it would be but there could be personal reasons, there could be things I don't know, but it's quite discouraging. He's the only guy. He was the only honest man in the DOJ we could go to during the Biden years, and he gave some degree of protection to us. Martine got arrested. I was hiding out in Qatar by the end. Martine was laying low in Oslo, Norway, and during the election, the day after the election, Martine went back to the United States. He was arrested by the FBI. He was detained by the FBI. Martine put in a call to Muldrow, and he threatened to prosecute them for obstruction of justice. Martine, just so you know, right now, go ahead.
No, please finish. And
the CIA is trying to toss Martine out of the country. Martine's not a citizen. Martine's been operating for 2 decades on a laissez-passer. He's not even got a passport, and the CIA is trying to force him out of the country. Everything expires by November. Martine, who saved our nation, is the CIA is blocking him from getting citizenship. I sent a message. I think that Donald Trump should sign his citizen papers, personally frame them, and FedEx them to Martine. Martine is the only reason Donald Trump is not sitting in a jail cell with Bolsonaro. The CIA is literally blocking this guy's final citizenship app and trying to get him shipped out of the country.
It's a terrible situation. It really is. And here's my concern specifically about Muldrow is he knew so much about it already. He came in ready to hit the ground running, whereas other government prosecutors or investigators, they were having to catch up to speed. And some of other people who came in to hit the ground running, particularly at the ODNI as part of the dig, are no longer there. And they've been replaced by people who have not been looking at this for years. And I was told specifically by someone who's talking to the current investigators that they're trying to get them up to speed. So
let me tell you,
no sense.
I've told you pieces before of what happened. What really happened is after the election, we were blocked from getting our 15 Venezuelan witnesses into the United States. Finally got eight of them in, thanks to Tom Homan. They sat there waiting to be interviewed. Anyway, Muldrow, Trump did the right thing. He appointed Muldrow, the head of this sort of super cell, to look into this whole shebang. And he did just what he should have done, but the deep state went to work and they just blocked. They wouldn't get any money to him. They wouldn't let him they wouldn't let anyone shift positions and get reassigned. So Muldrow was supposed to be the head of this super cell that was fighting the whole Bolshevik revolution, and he was blocked and blocked and blocked. And that's how the deep state works against Trump. They drag their feet. Yeah,
they absolutely did. Real quick, Patrick, we got 1 minute. We're running a bit over in this segment, but there's so much to hit. There is a friend of ours flagged this for me. It's a man named Hector Mujica running for Congress. So I do want to hit this real quick if we can try to do it real fast in a minute. Who is Hector and why is this important?
Hector's the son of Antonio Mujica, one of the 3 founders of Smartmatic, which kept the communist dictatorship in place in Venezuela, and then spread to 72 countries, including our own. That's his son. He's running for Congress. He's a Democrat, communist, of course, and he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's trying to say what his position is. This is just attempted further communist infiltration and overthrow of the U.S. His father's Antonio Mujica.
And Julio Mujica, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, was indicted in the Southern District of Florida and part of this Smartmatic bribery scheme in the Philippines, yes?
On the nose, yes.
Wow.
And by the way, the bribery scheme in the Philippines is a bribery. They haven't told you this yet, that they bribed $30 million. In fact, there was a $50 million payment, $20 million they pocketed in return for rigging the election, and $30 million they passed on to a Filipino politician. All they've told you about yet is the $30 million, but the truth is, and the DOJ knows, there was a $50 million payment. $20 million was their payment to actually overthrow the Filipino election. That's his son.
Boy, are they bold. I mean, that just shows how not worried they are. They are bold. Patrick Byrne, good to see you as always. Thanks for joining us today.
It's good to be seen. Thank you.